Alright everybody, welcome back. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you had an enjoyable time. Hope your horse came in for you on Saturday for the Derby. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, it was wet and rainy, kind of muddy out there, but the horses still ran. And anyway, I got introduced to some bourbon this weekend. It was pretty magical. So, but that's not why we're here here today, or this evening, Sunday evening. We're here to talk about stocks and what to expect for this week coming up. Now, I'm not going to talk about everything, just this one particular stock, and that's silver. So without further ado, we got to go. Alright, so looking at our silver chart, alright, our silver futures, we can see silver selling off, right? And then here it had this long red bar come in, and then it popped all the way back up and closed up here. And the next day it tried to run up and it sold off again. But this time it found the new bottom at about 32.12. Okay, on this bar here. Now, today, when the markets opened back up at 3:30 this afternoon, or 6:30 Eastern time, right, we started getting this development. If we look at it on the smaller time frame, or 2 minute, we can see this is what happened. Okay, so we had that sell bar coming in, it came down to here, and then chopped around a little bit, and now it's starting to push up. This Sunday, the 4th, May the 4th be with you, by the way. And then it started pushing up, and so now we're sitting at about 32.46. All right, in the after hours on Sunday. So what we'd like to see come Monday and at the close on Monday, where that bar ended up stopping, is either a nice green bar going, taking this out and going higher, or we get a nice push up and a nice close within this bar. And the reason I say that, because then we would have what they call a bullish Harami, because this bar here opened up. The low of this bar was 32.16. The low of this bar is 32.12, and it opened and closed so far within this bar, and that gives us our pregnant belly for the bullish Harami. Okay, now we know that a bullish Harami, of course, is in the name, bullish. Alright, and if it was up here and it was green pushing up and it turned green and then a red baby, that would be our bearish Harami. Okay, so right now we have what is considered a bullish, or a sign that we may be going higher. Okay, so we can wait for this to form, or we can, kind of get in as we're, trading sideways here. Okay, now we know we have this pointer here. Okay, so we may get a little bit of a sell-off, match this pointer, and then pop back up again. Or we could have our close here and our next start heading up here. That is going to take some time, and so that's what we're waiting to see what happens. We're sitting here on our 150-day simple moving average, and I know that you may have heard around the way that these things aren't as important, but if we all use it, then it becomes important, right? So we don't know how many people are using it and how many people aren't, but we do know that I'm using it. Okay, so keep an eye on this particular open and close of this bar here is what we really want to see. And if we go down to a smaller time frame, right, if we say 5 days and 5 minutes, all right, we see it, we're consolidating down here on the 5-minute time frame. Okay, we had a nice consolidation, put in this nice 5-pan bottom per se. Got a nice little pop-up, pullback, heading higher. Okay, so on the 5-minute time frame, this 5-pan bottom is an indication that we want to continue. Now that we popping and going higher, we want to most likely go up and, you know, retest this high here. Okay, but we're looking to see if that Harami shows up, and that's what we're looking for on this particular trade, to see if we're confident that we're gonna continue to go higher. Now, that's not to say that we won't get a bar here and then, you know, sell off too, but you know, that's just part of the game, right? So we have to be conscious of, okay, if we do get a Harami here, you know, which direction, if it's true to its form, then the next bar should, even if we get a little bit of a pullback, it should close higher and continue to go higher. If it doesn't, and it just sells off and closes down here somewhere, then we know that was just another sell bar, and you know, we got stopped out, right? So we want to first wait and see what happens when how this turns out, these two bars, if they become one or if they just become two separate bars. Okay, so that's all I want to throw at you on silver, is the potential that we may have a nice move to go back higher and go back and retest this and then back up to this $35 area. It's a, you know, not a big huge move. It's $3, but $3, you know what I mean? You can get you 100 shares of it. You get $300 real quick, or a potential of $300, or however much money you throw at this thing or whatever. But at any rate, you know that we had this nice push up and we got a pretty decent slow pullback. And now it looks like we're sitting at our major moving averages for some support, and it may be psychological support, but it's still a type of support. So I think that well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait and see what happens with these two bars. If I get my bullish Harami there, I'm going to be in that trade, and I have my stop down here somewhere for my, you know, my risks, my risk on for whatever I'm going to risk on the trade, and so we'll see what happens with this. But okay, let's say we get in at 32. I'd like to get maybe around $32 in on that trade. So we go to a 2-minute chart. Alright, so we already got a nice big sell bar already on a 2-minute chart, and then it came back up and fought back against it. So we're going to see what happens. It seems to be a resistance area in here. Okay, so we'll see what happens in the morning when the market opens up, and if we get the pullback that we're looking for. It'd be nice to get it at around $32 or 32. Not $32, but $32.16 or $32.18 or $32.20 or something like that. We don't really want it to go back to $32.12 because that's where we know our bottom was on that initial bar, and we don't want to take that bar out right away. But if we do go down that low, we hopefully can buy it back up. Not us, but we hopefully that the buyers will step in and think it's a good price and buy it back up. and that's what we're looking for, the buyers to come in, the big money to come in. All right, so somewhere roughly $32, 32-ish. I'd say at least 32, 14, 15 or so. So let's say 32.15. Alright, we get a 32.15, get our 150 shares. It's only going to cost us about $4 grand, 4,800. Okay, and our price target is going to be, let's go back to the 3 month and a day. So our price target is going to be $35. Alright, so we're going to kill the trade at 35. Stop price 35. Why is it doing that? Anyway. So our price target is going to be 35. And our stop price is going to be, let's see, the low of this one is 31.86, so we say it's about 31.50 ish. So it'll be down here somewhere below this line, 31.50. Alright, so we'll say stop price 31.50. Alright, so shares, oh, we got our shares backwards, 150, and we're going to get it at about 32.15. Alright, there we go. So our price target is 427.50, and our stop price potential loss is about $100. So that's a pretty good trade, right? We risked 100 to make 427, right? So that's what we're looking for. If we can get that at 32.15 or lower, and if we can get that Harami to appear, okay, we can get this Harami to appear, or at least, you know, a sign that we're gonna go, that we're found our bottom here and we're ready to head back up to retest. All right. So that's a potential trade on silver, and with low risk to reward ratio. All right, potential win 427.50, potential loss 97.50. All right, so that's kind of how I look at it this evening. Again, may the 4th be with you. Be careful on Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, because is when our great government is supposed to start, supposedly is going to start attaching people's wages for their school debt. So that's going to be another catalyst to the people. Okay, so anyway, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and be careful out there. These markets are crazy.